back, you guys. So doing a little project for this car today. As y'all probably saw, I was welding two sheets of metal together. So I'm gonna be making one of those covers that goes in between the front bumper and the radiator. Let me show you guys. One of these. And I had some leftover sheet metal from the fuel tank hat that I made, but I have a little template here. It wasn't long enough, so as you can tell, it's up to this line and needed it to be longer. So what I did, I cut that section off the top and I just welded it over here. I'm all about saving money on the things that you can, things that won't make much of a difference, and this is one of them. I mean, this is just a plate. So I cut that off, I welded it over here, see, and now it's one piece, and now it is long enough for me to draw in my template. So I'm gonna draw this in, I'm gonna cut it out, and the hardest part is gonna be cutting these parts in here. This is 16 gauge steel, so it's gonna be a little bit harder to do it with the Dremel, but I'm gonna give it a shot. So pretty easy, you guys. Make sure you just get yourself a template and then put on some sheet metal, cut it out, and then obviously if you guys want to wrap it or paint it, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. Right now I'm just trying to make it, and yeah, let's see what it turns into. All right, and there's the plate. So the GoPro died on the last time lapse, and I kind of continued doing everything and not realize that the GoPro was dead. But here it is. So the only thing that I did have to do is I did have to shorten basically the width of it. It was a little bit too long, so I took about maybe a ½ inch off of it, and there, I mean, for something that I spent, you know, maybe $5 on, it's not too bad. So let me show you guys exactly what I did. All right, so one of the things that I didn't record was this Dremel here. These are tungsten carbide burr tips. I'm not really sure what they're called, but these are actually cut through the metal, and it's real easy to kind of do the little curves. I don't know if you remember, I told you guys that the inside, the little circles with the kind of rectangular edges, those are going to be hard. So what I did was just cut the inside out. Well, with one of these here, I cut the inside with one of the cutting discs, and then I just kind of did the curves with this. It's pretty simple. They come in these kits here with a lot of different types. I actually ordered this because I'm going to be cutting the hood to install the hood latch pins. All right, so the curves that I was talking about are right here. You know, I kind of regret even making these because I'm going to be removing these. So I should have just made it flush. I'm not going to have the factory latches anymore, since I'm going to be installing the hood pins, the same ones that I have on my Supra. But whatever, it's done already. So easy. Remember, just do your outline, and then, you know, with the cutting wheel, make all the straight cuts that you can, and just get yourself one of those little tools for your rotary. It's nothing difficult, you guys. I mean, you can probably buy these made for maybe 90, 100 bucks, but for what, $5-10, I made it my own. What do you think?
Pretty good.
It's probably lying. He's trying to make me feel better. But let me show you guys something else. Obviously you guys know the interior is done, but I haven't shown y'all this. Remember I told you I was gonna do just like a little basic plate. Well, this is what it turned into. This is the basic layout. This is actually my first ever trunk setup. I've never ever done this on my Mustang. It's like bare, it's just metal and the batteries on the side. But this is a Supra, we got to do it right. So there it is. Basically I just made two plates here, one on this side, one on this side, and then this is to cover the box and whatever other electronics I'm going to put in the back. And obviously this is your speaker, your subwoofer, the amp, and the fuel hat that I made. Everything's under these panels here. This is a street car. I don't want it to look like a race car, so gotta give it a clean setup. But let me explain to you how this was made. This doesn't look like much, right? This doesn't either. It's just cardboard from a box that I had here, from a little toy truck that I bought for my son. So basically what you would want to do is just start off putting pieces in your trunk and start cutting it out. So for example, this right here, I put it in here, and as y'all can see, it has a lot of tiny pieces here. So whenever I was making the big piece, obviously it's not going to fit, so I started adding little pieces on there, started cutting them out, like this one right here too. You know, for example, this one here, the edge, I put another piece on there. I mean, look at this one, just piece here, piece here. I mean, at the end of the day, this doesn't matter because this is just a template that you're going to transfer onto a piece of wood like this. I spent $10 on this sheet of wood, and with this I was able to make this, and this. So for example, this is the piece that went in here. Obviously I can't put it in because this box is there, but you know, once before this was in here, this would fit flush in here, and this would fit flush in here. So then what I did is I just took it out and pretty much drew this onto that piece of wood and cut it out. And once you do that, then you get yourself some speaker carpet, some speaker material, which is this black stuff here, and get some spray adhesive. So I use the 3M high strength spray adhesive. So you spray it onto the wood, and then you just stick this on here, and all you got to do is make sure it's smoothed out, and then you wrap it around the edges, and with the staple gun just staple everything together. So there's actual staples all the way through here, all around the outside. For example, this is all stapled on along the inside. It's just staple where you can't see it. Same thing here. And there you go. I mean, I don't know how much somebody would have charged me to build this. I don't think it would have been cheap, but I've spent maybe I think maybe 60 bucks on this. Yeah, so I mean, that's $60, and somebody probably would have charged me maybe 400, 500 bucks for this. I don't know, correct me if you guys, if one of y'all does this for a living, tell me how much you would have charged. What do you think, bro? Pretty good. Yeah, that's all right, right? Yeah. I mean, it's not a show car, but also I don't want it to look bad. So there it is, you guys. So it's not hard. I mean, these are small projects like that plate. I mean, it's nothing complicated. Obviously, now that you guys see that trunk setup, people probably think it's a lot of work, but it's really not. You just gotta not be scared to do it. I hope I can show you guys that you can do it all yourself, and you don't need to be spending so much money on this kind of stuff. I mean, if you want to and you have the funds to do it, go for it, man. All power to you. But you know, the reason I have been able to build all these cars is because I try to do a lot of the work myself. You know, for example, someone like him, how old are you, bro? 14. He's 14. I'm hoping that I can show him that he doesn't need to be scared to take on these projects. All of y'all can do this too. It's not hard at all. I mean, the car's coming along, so I still have a few more things before my brother takes this car and does all the body work. I did get all the parts for the power steering, AC, heat, all that stuff. I think the next thing I'm gonna show you guys is either the exhaust, the intercooler piping, or I'm gonna show you guys how to weld a plastic bumper. But until I can make my mind. I'm gonna catch you on the next video. Later.